But you are on with the odd couple for now. And the big news of the day, Magic Johnson went on ESPN's First Take and just went ballistic on Rob Pelinka, the GM of the Lakers. And Magic said that Rob Pelinka backstabbed him, and that's why he stepped down as the president of the Lakers.
At one point during it, he called Rob Pelinka Judas, didn't he? Double
Did he?
Judas. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't hear that one. But he really went off on him. Rob G, let's play a little bit of sound from Magic's talking today.
People around the Laker office was telling me Rob was saying things. And
Rob Pelinka.
And I didn't like those things being said behind my back, that I wasn't in the office enough and so on and on. So I started getting calls from my friends outside of basketball saying those things now were said to them outside of basketball. Now, not just in the Laker office anymore. Now it's in the media and so on.
And these are people you trust.
Exactly. And people got to remember something. Being in this business for over 40 years, I got allies, I got friends everywhere.
All right. And so that is a big problem for the Lakers. They already had an image problem because people are looking at the way they've done things this year, and especially since Magic Johnson stepped down about a month ago, and they just look like they're winging it, like they're flying by the seat of their pants. And Rob Pelinka, who I always had a good relationship with when I dealt with him as an agent. And
so you didn't have any issues?
No, I never had any issues with Rob. I liked him. I thought he was a nice guy, and he was a good agent. He had Kobe, James Harden,
why does everybody
Kevin
else
Durant.
have all these where they don't trust him?
Yeah, there are a lot of people around. Not everybody, but a lot of people around the league say they don't trust him, that he lies all the time. And that image, that reputation, Magic just validated it. And that is going to hurt the Lakers as they recruit these free agents. Ramona Shelburne has from ESPN has tweeted out a few things recently, kind of an update on the situation
what's going
with
on,
Magic
yeah.
and the Lakers. Rob G, why don't you read the relevant tweets?
Yeah, this is actually a tweet stemming from an interview she did earlier today on ESPN where she was asked about the Magic Johnson situation and whether or not the front office knew what he was going to say on First Take, and this is what she said, quote, "They, meaning Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, asked Magic several times in phone calls and private dinners, flat out asked him, is there anything we should know about you stepping down? What was that tweet about on April 25th saying, quote, the truth will come out?
Yes, what's the
And
truth? We want to know, right?
He never told them anything. Instead, he just waited to unveil it all on First Take.
Well, Magic has been talking, and this has been reported, and I've been told it as well. He's been talking to Pelinka somewhat regularly since he stepped down, and certainly Jeannie. And Pelinka said today they spoke 2 days ago. And obviously Magic gave him no indication.
So why didn't
this.
Magic have that conversation with Pelinka before he went on the show today?
No, that's
question. All.
Right.
Chris, if I got an issue, we could talk about it, and then you'll know what's coming up.
But
And
you and I are boys. They weren't that
I
close,
know, right,
so.
right.
But
look,
I will say
on
this.
the
one hand, I applaud Magic for just being like, look, dude was doing me dirty, and I'm man enough to get up here and say it. On the other hand, it definitely didn't help the Lakers when it comes to recruiting.
Well, and that's my issue, is that Magic can't say, well, I'm going to help them recruit, and I love the Lakers and all that. He did some major damage today. He betrayed the organization. No matter what Rob Pelinka can come and go. Jeannie Buss is the owner now. I get it. She's in control. But if you really love the organization and really want to help it, what he did today was not help it. He hurt it severely. And because of that, I'm serious when I say this. If I'm the Lakers, Magic Johnson from here on out, not forever, but indefinitely, he's persona non grata.
You can't do that.
We don't want
Are you
Magic.
really serious?
We don't want Magic around. Magic's not going to be invited to any events. I mean,
this is Magic Johnson.
I understand, but he's not bigger than the organization.
Think you do.
Yes, I do. Nobody's bigger than the organization. Now,
he has not done as much damage as he's done today. He has not done any more damage than Jeannie Buss or Rob Pelinka or the Rambis crew in the last month or two.
He doesn't own the team, and I'm just telling you.
Neither do the Rambises or Pelinka.
If I was the owner, if I was Jeannie Buss, and I'm serious, I would go out there myself with a blanket and tape, a wet blanket, and I'd cover up his statue. And I'd say, Magic for right now is persona non grata.
You love using this vague phrase right now.
Right now.
What is it? How long? Let me ask you. The last time you used that phrase when you were saying James Harden was the best player in the world, how long was right now for James Harden?
That was 3 months. So maybe Magic, all I would say is, Magic, you know what? Don't call here. Don't answer Magic's phone calls or texts. You know, we're done with you for right now. We're furious about what you did today on national television, where you hurt our organization. You're probably going to stop anybody from wanting to ever call Rob Pelinka or have any dealings with him, which is going to be hard for us because he's our guy. So I would do that. And I know people say you can't do that to a star. The
He's
New
not
York
a star.
the former star,
He's
legend.
a superstar.
The
He's
New
a
York
legend.
freaking Yankees did it to a legend in Reggie Jackson when he went out and ripped A-Rod and some other Yankees about steroid use. They said, you know what? We know you're a special scout. We know you're an ambassador for the Yankees. You know what? You're persona non grata. Don't come around the house that Ruth built.
How long was that? How long did that last?
I don't know, maybe 6 months or a year or something. But he wasn't around. And you know what? Eventually, you're gonna welcome him back because he's a legend.
No, but
they welcomed him back.
Reggie Jackson is a legend. I'm
He
not
is.
going to belittle what Reggie
he's done.
Jackson was. But I think even you have to admit, Rob, one, he is not Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is one of the top 5 players of all time. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird honestly may have saved the NBA in the 80s.
I understand
You
that.
cannot ban Magic Johnson. And here's the other thing.
If he does damage to my
Reggie
franchise.
Jackson, as great as Reggie Jackson was, Reggie had just, voluntarily kind of taken himself out of the spotlight in the decades following his retirement. Magic has never done it. Magic is still all up in the spotlight. So if you banned him, it would have major ramifications. You think players are looking at the Lakers now askance? I think I used that right. Check that out, Rob G. Askance? You don't think they would be looking if they ban Magic freaking Johnson?
So you telling me
You don't think players would be like, oh, no, they can do that to Magic?
No,
I definitely ain't going there.
I totally disagree because we're about to watch what's going to happen in New York when they threw Charles Oakley out of the building.
Now Charles Oakley is Magic
not
Johnson.
Magic, but he's a fan favorite in New York.
I don't think you understand how great Magic Johnson was. Did you watch Magic?
I'm saying KD. Of course I watch Magic.
Charles Oakley.
I'm talking about KD and maybe Kyrie are talking about coming to join the Knicks. And they threw Charles Oakley out of the garden like a rag doll. And they humiliated a guy who gave his all for an organization. They have the worst owner ever, and these guys are now going to sign with the Knicks. So fans forget about that and they move on. That's my point.
First of all,
and Magic ain't going to be the reason why.
Let's see if they sign with the Knicks, number one.
Now you're saying that.
No,
now.
I am hearing that players are looking at the owner. Now, I tend to be with you that KD and Kyrie will go there, but dudes are looking at James Dolan and saying, comparing him to Steve Ballmer.
My CWPS that I've talked to.
The owners in Brooklyn.
They say they believe that they have definitely KD is in.
Well, I tend to agree with that too, but I'm saying let's see it happen first. And then Charles Oakley is not Magic Johnson.
I said he was a fan favorite.
But come on.
But here's the other part. I want to say this. When this whole story broke, I knew what had happened. And Magic today revealed that, what went down, and really when he realized he had no power with the organization. Let's take a listen to it. Is this a microwave take, Chris? And listen, because
you guessed right.
I was spot on. It wasn't a guess. This is my reporting skills.
Right.
Time to reheat an old hot take that's gone cold.
Hot on the outside, icicle in the middle.
It's Microwave Take with the Odd Couple.
Jeannie Buss is the biggest Luke Walton fan, and this to me, when you don't let your GM do what you need to do, you know what I mean, and make a decision, that's the only reason you would step down. That's why you would step down, for no other reason, Chris. Why? A power struggle with the owner.
This wasn't for Magic.
When he goes to Jeannie and say, I'm making a coaching change for next year, and she says, no, you're not. You're not getting rid of Luke. He's not going to be blamed for this. There were so many injuries. LeBron didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? And Magic talked about it when he mentioned, what was that guy's name? Tim
Harris, who runs the business side.
Who's all of a sudden making decisions.
Right.
And he said, I realized I didn't have power. Didn't he say it out of his own mouth?
Yep.
And I tell you, that'll make you quit like lickety-split like the way he did, because it was so abrupt, Chris. When you don't go back to Jeannie Buss is supposedly your sister, and you don't say, hey, Jeannie, you know what? I just figured I got so many other things to do. I would love to help you. This just isn't working out. Let's have a press conference. I'll bow out gracefully. You'll save face. I'll save face. And I'll go off into the sunset. And everybody still love Magic, right?
How do you think this is going to affect them in free agency? Like, do you think this will deter players from going? I mean, look,
I don't think they were coming anyway. I think he made the organization look even worse. And Rob Pelinka, as a guy who's now a pariah, a guy that people don't want to be around, like, I really believe that he's really put him out there. Because you know what? You never hear that from somebody's mouth. I mean, on television, basically saying this guy's a weasel. This guy's a bad guy. I couldn't trust them.
Well, here's the thing about players today. They're fairly sophisticated. You know, when they choose a place to go, a lot of times they're looking at the organization, the infrastructure, the front office, and do they believe it's a front office you can trust, and it's a front office that will build a great team around you to try to win championships. And their agents also. Remember, as you know, Rob, agents are influencing players. And if agents feel that way about Rob Pelinka, look, money talks in the NBA. And if the Lakers are offering more money, then they will get the guys. But if all things being equal,
right,
this very well could work against the LA Lakers. We'll have to wait until July to really find out. But Magic, just to go back to what he said when he did retire, he's still going to help the Lakers recruit.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. I mean,
what is he bringing, a gasoline
can? This was
can?
a blowtorch to their recruiting efforts. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Your turn to weigh in. 877-996-6369. Will Magic Johnson's comments today on First Take hurt the Lakers this summer in free agency? We will continue the conversation with you next.
Show.
Let's start with Sam in Seattle. Sam,
what's happening?
You're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, guys, I'm just really confused about Magic after listening to this interview. I really thought, you're Magic Johnson. Like, Wilt Chamberlain gave you daps for off-court work that you did. You beat HIV. You got, 5 rings. You got tons of money. How you let this dude who barely got minutes at Michigan...
Thank you.
He was a part of the Fab Five.
No, he wasn't.
He was on that team.
Oh, he wasn't on the 5-5.
He wasn't one of them.
Hey, Sam, I'm 100%. So him talking behind your back makes you quit the league. This guy, Rob Pelinka, makes you quit.
Hey, I don't really understand when you could have gone to Genie and said, hey, it's either Walton or me. We'll do a press conference.
Yep.
Whatever you want, I'll roll with. Because I ain't going to try to do that to you.
You know what, Sam?
Said, I want you.
That is a good point.
It is.
Like, Magic could have easily just gone he could have had a meeting with Rob and Jeannie and been like, look, Rob, I'm hearing that you're saying this and that, and you got to chill. You know,
if I hear another one of these things, either you're going or I'm going.
Right. You
one or the other.
That. The bottom line is he probably didn't want to do the job anymore.
No.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Yep.
How do you deal with all the talk that Rob does behind your back with Colin, Joy?
I see him on there. See him on there. Every time he's on, Chris Broussard on the Odd Couple said blah, blah, blah.
I'm always throwing it out.
But he says it in public, so that's a difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
At least he's doing that.
And behind closed doors, I beat him down really good.
Is that it?
Yeah,
that's it.
I always beat him up every week.
Sam, thanks for calling. We appreciate it. How about Tom in Los Angeles? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tom?
Hey, how you guys doing? First of all, thank you so much for taking the call, man. I'm a huge fan of you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So I agree with that last caller. I mean, that's the main thing with me is that I'm just really confused about Magic because it seems like he says one thing but does another thing. You know, he says he's going to help the Lakers out, but then he really trashes us today.
Right.
And listen, I'm a huge Magic fan. I'm 46 years old. I've been watching since I was a kid, the Lakers, and I got an autographed Magic Johnson jersey right above my desk at work. So I love the guy, but I feel like he's kind of not being genuine with us at this point, and he's really hurt the team. You know, as far as how he left, I thought it was unprofessional and abrupt. But even to this point, He could have waited till after free agency to go
Yes.
on television and said all that. He could have said even back a month or two ago, listen, guys, I'm going to bounce out, but you know what? I'm going to help you out through free agency, and I'll be gone in 2 months. Let me get out of here quiet. There's a lot of things he could have done. Now I almost feel like he's trying to sabotage the team.
That's what, Tom, 100%. There's a way to do it.
We should cover up his statue tomorrow.
See? There you go, Tom.
Hold on. You're in L.A. You really?
Hey, Tom, rack Tom right there. Hey, Tom, you got a wet blanket? You got a wet
trash talking Tuesdays tomorrow. You
got a wet blanket in your basement?
It's not about trash, but it's right. No one is bigger than the organization. You know, we got to be loyal to the mothership here. I mean, what does he get out of the Lakers doing poorly? What does he get out of Rob Pelinka doing poorly?
Yes.
I actually respect the way Rob Pelinka handled things in his press conference today. I thought that was very professional. Very
well, he had no choice.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything. That was bad.
No, I understand that. I feel you on that.
I know what you're saying.
It just seems kind of childish what they're doing, what Magic is doing at this point.
All right, let's go to CJ in Indianapolis. CJ, you're on with the Odd Couple.
Yo, what's up, man? Big fan of the show. I just wanted to call in and
Thank
say
you.
This. First off, what Magic did, it is going to hurt them, and it is going to hurt them in free agency. But I want to say this, man. I think that Magic had to come out here and say something, because when this first happened, all I heard was Magic Johnson is a coward for the way that he stepped down. Magic Johnson is this. Magic Johnson is this and that and unprofessional. Well, he had a list of stuff that he came to agreement with the Lakers, like when he said, I'm not going to be in the office all the time so I can run my businesses. I make more money doing this. That was fine.
So why did he take the job?
Why'd they agree to it? Why'd they say this is okay?
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
But that's the thing. Jeannie said it's all right. He's not going to be in the office.
So if these are all the things that they agreed to, and yes, I'm gonna have power and do all of this stuff, and then you come to find out that you can't do any of this stuff, then what are you supposed to do? You can't do the job. It's going to look like you failed. And
so wait a minute.
Wait
a minute, CJ. So then, if that's what he agreed on with Jeannie, what does he care what Rob Pelinka says if she knows he was going to be there part time? I don't understand that. I don't think it
was necessarily about Rob Pelinka talking about behind his back. I think what really got to Magic was the lack of power, like you said, and you take a few weeks ago or months ago. I think it was a truly lack of power that he couldn't get rid of Rob Pelinka. He couldn't get rid of Luke Walton. Those guys.
I agree. I think that's why he quit.
I think that is the main problem. I think that is the main problem, not necessarily Rob Pelinka. Magic don't care about Rob Pelinka.
Right.
I will say we talked about this in the meeting before the show, Rob. It was low level backstabbing. Yeah. It was backstabbing, but it was low level.
Right. It wasn't like
right. He ain't in the office and all that. Let's go to Chris in Virginia. Chris, you're on with the Odd Couple.
I'm so sick and tired of the media and everybody dumping all over Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is a grinder. He was a grinder when he was at Michigan. What Magic Johnson did causes animosity in any workplace. Not showing up, just want to come in every now and then, making sweeping moves and sweeping changes. I mean, all Rob Pelinka did was tell the truth. Magic ain't around, and I'm sure everybody didn't like that. I just don't think the media is dumping all over Rob Pelinka, and I think it's wrong.
All
Magic Johnson.
Thank you,
no,
Chris.
That's fair. That's fair.
A little bit of support for Pelinka.
Yeah, no, but it's fair. I mean, it did happen, right?
Yeah,
and Magic admitted.
My only thing is Jeannie knew that was going to be the case, and so it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
He is a
great, tremendous columnist for the Los Angeles Times,
friend of ours,
and you have to check him out on the Bill Plaschke and Mike Harmon show every Sunday right here on Fox Sports Radio, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Also, go to the LA Times today. Great article he wrote on the Magic Johnson controversy. Talked about how, the title is Magic Johnson has made things messier for the Lakers. Magic Johnson makes Lakers situation messier by citing Rob Pelinka's betrayal. He'll have one tomorrow on the Frank Vogel hiring. Bill Plaschke. Bill, what's happening, man?
Bill?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Thanks for joining us. We know we know you're busy today, so thanks for joining us. Just talk to us about how you felt about Magic's, thing today and how it made things worse for the Lakers.
I think he was, and again, I'm just finishing up a column on the press conference, and the whole day was crazy. But I thought it started with Magic lobbing those grenades from New York. I thought it was selfish. I thought he picked the day when he knew the Lakers were having their big press conference, and everything he said was right. And everything he said I agree with, but everything he said could have been said yesterday or the day before. I just thought it made him look bad. It made him look petty, I think. And people we're all jumping on the bandwagon. Rob Pelinka's a backstabber and all that, and that's, and that seems to be what everybody agrees is to be true. And I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not going to dispute the fact that Rob Pelinka should not be in charge there. But I just thought it made Magic look selfish. I just thought doing it on this day for all the late, he
Bill, I agree with you.
Bill, what do you say to though? I mean, there have been reports that this thing was scheduled a few weeks ago and Magic didn't know.
You guys both know if Magic Johnson scheduled something in your studio for a Monday and said, you know what, I want to do it on Tuesday, you all would clear the deck.
They would clear the decks. They would make changes. There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it.
Hey, Bill, this is what I said. Here's I agree. I thought what he did today was sabotage. He hurt the organization. If I'm Jeannie Buss and I'm dead serious, I mean, what he did, I would suspend him indefinitely, not have him involved in any Lakers stuff because he's not helping the organization. And I would go up there with a stepladder myself and cover up his statue with a blanket. I'm dead serious, Bill, because what is he doing? He's not helping. He's hurting.
I don't understand it. All they've done for him, and this goes back to all the stuff he's been through and all they've done for him. And everything he said is fine. He's got every right to say it, and it's the truth. Why do you say it today? And why you say you love Jeannie Buss on one hand,
right?
He just blew that press conference apart. He tore it down. They were waiting. I'm writing this. They were waiting through the rubble of the press conference, trying to get out of there. It was a nightmare over there today. Poor Frank Vogel.
Right.
Frank Vogel's he's Mr. Positivity. It's going to be great, you guys. We're like,
really?
You poor misguided man. You have no idea what you're getting into.
How were they feeling?
It was terrible. No, it was terrible.
Bill, how are people within the organization feeling? Are they as negative about it as you are?
They're really mad at Magic, yes. They are really mad at him. I've talked to several of them today. They're furious at him. Now I'm not saying they don't disagree with him. Remember, this is two different things. But they're really mad at him for the timing. I mean, the press conference was planned for a week. The Lakers haven't talked since April 9th. Let him give him a chance to do something nice. We're killing him. I've been killing him every week. I'm killing him every day. Give him a chance to do something to celebrate this new coach. At least give Vogel a moment in the sun. Let Pelinka answer questions. Was that too much to ask? And Magic timed it just this way. And
so it was purposeful in your mind.
Yeah, it feels like it was purposeful.
I think it was absolute. Well, don't you all think so?
I do.
I think he thought Pelinka was going to rip him at the press conference. We would have asked Pelinka, what about you and Magic? Why did Magic quit? It's the first chance to ask Rob why Magic quit. Were you the backstabber?
So he went on the offensive. Magic.
He went on the offensive. But you know what? Pelinka wouldn't have answered. He had to know Pelinka would not have trashed him. Nobody, you don't win in this town trashing Magic Johnson. So he would not have trashed him, right? There's no way he's going to trash him. And Magic had to know that. He could have waited till after the press conference to do it, or do it yesterday. You want to do it? Do it Friday. Give it a weekend to marinate or something. I don't care. But don't do it today.
So,
I thought, of course, again, this is as selfish as somebody who would quit on the spot before the last game of the season, too, right? I mean, it's the same thing with Magic. I love him. I love Irvin, but gosh dang it.
But Bill, the power thing, he admitted that he realized he didn't have the power that he thought he had. I speculated the day he quit. Chris and I were doing the show, and I said, the only way you quit like that is when you realize you're worthless, or powerless. And you just say, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? You just want to get out of the place because you realize you don't have any power. Were you surprised that he admitted that?
No, I'm not. No, because that was the truth. What I'm surprised about is that he actually admitted that Pelinka said he's not in the office, he's never in the office, he's never here. Because guess what? He's not in the office.
Right.
He's never in the office. He's never there. That's the truth.
Yes.
Right? And Pelinka's not the only one to say that. I've had numerous people. I've said that to you on this show before. So I was surprised he would admit that something that Pelinka said about him would be so true, and he'd actually admit it, that Pelinka said that. But I was just surprised by the whole thing. It just threw the Lakers I heard they considered canceling the press conference.
Wow, that would have been unbelievable.
I'm like, no way you cancel that press conference.
Right, with a new coach? That would have looked bad.
No way. Poor Frank. Frank's like, I swear to you guys, Frank said, you know what? I know you have to wait and see, but this is going to be a positive thing. We're going to have a great team. You're going to love how we look. And everybody's looking at him like, oh my God, you poor guy. You're so naive. He's a nice guy. I like him. I like Vogel.
He sounded like the adult in the room at times.
Yes, he did. He did sound like Pelinka was shell-shocked. But if you listen to the thing, my point of pride in the press conference is I actually got the name Linda Rambis into the conversation. So I take full credit. But you know how crazy the press conference was? Bill Ormer, the Athletic, asked what I told him was the most amazing question I've ever heard at a Laker press conference. He said to Rob Pelinka, Rob, do you answer to Kurt Rambis?
Wow.
He asked him that.
And what did he say?
He said, no. But it was a legitimate question.
Right, no question. Well, speaking of that, and we're joined by Bill Plaschke of the LA Times. Bill, what are you surprised? I mean, Jeannie's reputation when she ran the business side was great. They just seem inept. And Magic, as wrong as he was, he brought up Tim Harris having say in basketball decisions, whether he was going to be able to fire Luke Walton. I mean, how much of a mess is this just from that standpoint? And are you surprised at how Jeannie seems to be floundering, in her role as running the basketball side?
This is a person who took over the team by running a coup on her brothers.
Right.
She fired her own brother. Okay, and so I thought this woman's tough. She's tough. Jeannie's tough. We all love her. We still love her, but we loved her for being tough. We loved her for being assertive, and then when it came, so that was one thing. She asserted her control over the team, and then she gave it up.
But Bill,
Magic and Pelinka have it. So so we are very surprised by this, and what's happened in 2 years has been shameful. We're very surprised.
How much is Kobe, if at all, behind the scenes?
I say
strings?
You're not the first person to ask me that. I say absolutely not. I know Kobe pretty well. I've talked to him. Not about this recently, but in the past about he just doesn't want to get involved in a basketball mess. People from our paper have tried to get him on this, and he's like, "Leave me out of this, bro. Leave me out of this."
But is it about Pelinka though? The part about why Jeannie feels so.
I think it's Linda Rambis.
Is it what it is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think Pelinka manages up really well. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
That means kissing butt.
He knows of the people that he needs to be good to.
Can I put the word brown noser in the LA Times? I tried that, and I don't know if I should try to get past it.
What happened? They edited it out?
What?
I said, did they edit it out when you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it yet. Should I try it?
Oh, you should try brown noser.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that is. That's good. I like that.
I should try it. I looked it up. It's one word. I thought it was 2 words. It's one word. Brown noser is one word. So
Chris would know. Chris would know. Ask Chris.
Bill, how do you think this will affect the Lakers in free agency?
Terrible, right? I mean, who's going to want to give their lives? These guys, remember, all these top free agents can make the money anywhere.
Yeah.
Who's going to want to, basically, when you're signing along with a team now, you're making all these millions of dollars, you're becoming a partner in the team. You're a partner, you're the ownership. You basically have an ownership stake in the team for the 3 or 4 years you're there. That your whole, economy, your whole, your payroll and everything is all involved in the team. Are you going to give yourself to the team that you have has no idea who's running it, that has no direction? They're like a bunch of kids. They're snitches and syncopaths and all kinds of stuff, right? They're all fighting for their territory in the playground. Would you want to join that?
Yeah, it looks bad.
I don't think so.
It looks bad.
Well, all right, Bill,
great
we appreciate
stuff,
you.
man.
I know you're busy.
We'll be reading your stuff in the LA Times tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
All right, you brown noser. See you later.
Hey, we're natural brown nosers.
All right, man, later.